Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, today's show is sponsored by Parks Yoga. Check them out on Facebook right here in Independence, Kentucky. Today is Good Friday, and I want to wish all Christians everywhere, Catholics, Christians of every denomination, happy Good Friday. You know, I've always said this, that Good Friday, being the day that we celebrate the death of Jesus Christ on the cross to save us from our sins, we probably should celebrate it as much as Easter. It is an incredible day on the Christian calendar. And although I am somebody who doesn't go to church every week like many of you, I still have my faith, and I still believe in God, and I still enjoy everything that the Easter season brings. By the way, even can't hardly tell, but I wore my Easter colors today. But I want to wish everybody a happy and safe Easter weekend. And as I always say, I always defend Santa Claus. I will always defend the Easter Bunny. What's more Christian than a big bunny bringing kids Easter eggs and candy and whatnot, just like Santa Claus? So I support the Christian part of the holiday and the secular part of the holiday. It's just a wonderful time, isn't it? Is there anything better than Easter brunch? I'm excited about it. We're going to host Easter brunch for my family. I hope your family gathers together wherever you might be. Now let's get right to it. Yesterday, my man, Donald Trump, endorsed J.D. Vance in the United States Senate race in Ohio. This is no doubt coming from Junior. And by the way, I'm a Trump ally. So I'm going to analyze this straight up and honest without super criticism. But I will criticize Trump when he deserves it. I do. It's rare, but I do. This is a mistake. And let me explain it. The Dr. Oz endorsement was a mistake. Nobody's talking about this. I think the Dr. Oz endorsement comes from Hannity, not from the Trump folks. And Trump owes Hannity a lot. And my guess is Hannity asked him to do that. That's just my surmising. Now, in the Ohio Senate race, you have first and foremost Michael Gibbons. We interviewed him yesterday on Freedom File, and I make no bones about it. Yours truly has endorsed Michael Gibbons. I encourage everyone in the state of Ohio, Republican, to watch the interview that we had yesterday. By the way, he explains that comment that he made about the taxes. Gibbons isn't for increasing taxes on the middle class. He was just pointing out how the upper echelon of the taxpayer pay the most taxes. But I'm for Mike Gibbons. Who else is for Mike Gibbons? Rand Paul. Then we have Jane Timken. Jane Timken is being supported by a lot of people that I see as establishment Republicans, but my senior advisor, Corey Lewandowski, is on the Timken campaign. Kind of funny. Corey and I were laughing about it all yesterday. And then you have Josh Mandel, who, in my opinion, has overplayed the Marine card. I just really do. And then, of course, you have good old J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance said the worst things about Trump ever. Don Jr. came to his defense and, well, he learned his lesson, blah, blah, blah. I'll be candid with you, folks. I just don't like J.D. Vance. I thought Hillbilly Elegy was like, I didn't think it was a good book. I didn't think it was a good movie. I didn't understand. I mean, I don't know why it got all that acclaim. He was so nasty to Trump. I mean, that wasn't just not liking Trump. He was nasty. And by the way, here's why I think Trump's endorsement is a mistake. I think the Trump voters, the hardcore voters, don't like J.D. Vance. And I don't think Trump's endorsement is going to cause hardcore Trump voters to just walk with him. The Trump voters like when Trump leads them in the right direction. That's the wrong direction. By the way, when it comes to my campaign for governor, this is kind of funny. I got a great relationship with Kimberly Guilfoyle, who's marrying Don Jr. Don Jr.'s done a cameo for Bulldog Nation and Bulldog Media. I got Corey Lewandowski on as a senior advisor. I got Eric Trump coming in for Freedom Fest. I was from Trump from the beginning. I mean, I hope I get the Trump endorsement down the road. It's too early, but I hope I get the Trump endorsement. Doesn't matter, though, because I'm very confident that by the time that happens, the Trump voters in Kentucky will know I'm their guy. But enough about that. Check out Mike Gibbons again on the Freedom File. The woke freak out about Musk and Twitter. You know, they mocked all of us non-censorship, First Amendment, freedom-loving Americans when we were all told Facebook, Twitter, they're private companies, they're private companies. They were all instruments of destruction of the First Amendment. I just coined that phrase off the top of my head. That's pretty good. Instruments of destruction of the First Amendment. Twitter, Facebook, all of them. But they said it's a private company. Oh, well, now that Elon Musk wants it to try to save us. And by the way, Oracle, super Oracle status for Musk. What Musk is doing for mankind is unbelievable. From the electric car to the space travel to helping out the Ukrainians with his Starlight thing, with trying to buy Twitter. I mean, I got to give it up. Now, he's not perfect, but by golly, you can't, we're not, you know what? You can't be everything to everybody. All in all, man, Musk's the man for me. And but it's just amazing how they've gone. By the way, I got something else that I want to throw in right here because I think it's relevant. I came up with something to mock this pronoun stuff. I don't have pronouns. I have nouns. My nouns are Bulldog, America, and Trump. Those are my nouns. No pronouns for me. I got nouns. What are your nouns? Let's start the movement of nouns. We ought to grab that website, Josh. Remind me. Whatareyournouns.com. That's what we're going to be. What are your nouns? Unbelievable. Pronouns. You can't make the stuff up going on with this pronoun stuff that's going on through all of the big companies in the tri-state, all the hospitals. They're all woke. Makes me sick. Musk, oh man, the guy is just so smart. I mean, the guy wrote code, okay? He writes code, but he's man of the world. I mean, and you know what? Thank God that we have a billionaire that can compete against the Gateses of the world, the Zuckerbergs of the world. But the Saudi Arabian, the guy that got arrested by the prince, the billionaire investor, he says he's going to try to stop Musk. And Musk pointed out, let's evaluate the free speech in the kingdom. Great retort. By the way, Vanguard has now bought 10% of Twitter, and some other investor. Oh boy, all the liberals are scared to death. There's a war, folks. I've been saying this. It's our team and their team. By the way, speaking of their team, Feinstein, they're throwing her under the bus. They're saying people have to reintroduce themselves to her. She doesn't remember anything, and that she probably needs to retire. My question, how come they're not saying that about Joe Biden? Did you hear what happened to Joe Biden yesterday? Joe Biden turned around when he was talking to shake a ghost's hand. There was nobody there, Josh Wentz. He went to shake the hand, and they weren't there. Did you see that, Jamie? Yep. No, he went to shake a hand, and there was nobody there. And then you got Disney. Disney is so woke. They're protesting. You watch how Disney is going to take the punch of their woke policies. Come on. If you're in a Midwest American family, are you going to support Disney? Hell no. By the way, I'm going to out him. The manager of Bulldog Reports.com, Mark Hansel, who's very conservative, took his grandkids to Disney this week. I asked him, I said, are you coming back transgender? He didn't respond. I'm a little worried. I mean, he spent a week in Disney. We might have lost Mark Hansel to Disney. All right, I already covered Biden shakes there. Jason Whitlock. If you don't know who Jason Whitlock is, he's this massive man. He's a big black man. He's funny, and he's conservative, and he's pounding Disney and ESPN for all their woke policies. By the way, ESPN, Disney, ABC, they're all owned by the same company. Disney. Woke, woke, woke. Title US 42's gone, lifted. Here come the illegal immigrants. Unbelievable. Joe Drug Cartel Biden. That's his new nickname. I've given it to him. Joe Drug Cartel Biden. Wearing his sunglasses, you know, his aviators, you know, looking cool, like Drug Cartel Joe. Make sure you put that picture up there, Sabrina and Josh. Republican women voters, they say, are going to vote Republican in big numbers because of inflation. Hey, all you suburban moms out there, thank you for what you did to us in 2020. Common sense. What did you think was going to happen, you Republican suburban moms? Make me mad. Okay, X on passports. Do you believe it? X on passports. You're not a man or a woman, you can X. Who's going to do that? Hey, this is great. Moskva. The Moskva is the name of the ship. This is going to go down in Ukrainian history and lore. They sank yesterday. It's the flagship of the Navy, like their main, ship. Their flagship. It's called a flagship. Can't make this up. It sank the same day as the anniversary of the Titanic sinking. Woo, it's a bad day to be on the water, April 14th. Ed Buck, 67-year-old big Democratic donor. He's headed off to jail for a few decades, I think 4 decades, for his sick sexual deviancy. What is it, man? Sick, sick people. Why are we going to house this guy for 40 years instead of just put his life to an end for what he did to kids? I don't understand it, folks. I don't understand it. The Republican National Committee has said no more to the debates. No more to debates. And last but not least, today's the anniversary of Jackie Robinson in 1947, coming up and playing first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He would later become a second baseman. By the way, I want this bolded, Sabrina. I want to do a special clip on it. Jackie Robinson, what a man, what an athlete. Served in the Army, I think he was a 4-sport track. He was track, football, baseball, basketball at USC. An incredible athlete. And you know what? The thing that blows me about Jackie Robinson is Branch Rickey said to Jackie Robinson, listen, you got to take it. You got to take all the hell they're going to give you. You got to keep your mouth shut. You can't fight back. And he did that. Enos Slaughter, the Phillies, slid in and spiked him really hard, didn't punch him. But I tell you what, the Jackie Robinson story is so awesome. I mean, so awesome. By the way, in his first game, I think he didn't get a hit, but he had a walk. I think he stole 2 bases, scored a run. But Jackie Robinson's story is great. Leo DeRocher, who was the manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, he told the team, he said, you like making money? Because he's going to make us a lot of money. I'm a coach. You don't like it, get the hell out. I mean, Leo DeRocher, he had Jackie Robinson's back. And then, this is a great story. Pee Wee Reese, the Brooklyn Dodgers shortstop, he said, this is a great quote. It's applicable today. He goes, there's a lot of reasons to not like a man, but his color of his skin's not one of them. Isn't that good? Just like Martin Luther King Jr. And there's a famous story of Pee Wee Reese putting his arm around Jackie Robinson out before a game so everybody knew that they were buddies, and that was a big signal. But the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies shouted from the dugout against Jackie Robinson, used the N-word against him. And you know what it did? It solidified the Brooklyn Dodgers team. But it's an historical event worth remembering today in history. Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier for baseball. You know, when you look at the players that played in the Negro Leagues like Josh Gibson and others, oh my goodness. Incredible athletes that never got to play on the big stage. And we ended that today in history in 1947. By the way, folks, I might be a Republican and they get unfairly criticized for being the racist party, which is absolutely not true. As your Republican governor of Kentucky, there will be no bigger champion for civil rights than yours truly. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.